And for Austin Stevens, who's out on special assignment, I want to give you an update. We've got some good news and some not so good news. The good news, the pollen count. We'll take a look at the graphic and I'll show you what we're talking about. As we move through the rest of the week, the pollen numbers are going to drop off significantly.
This weather report brought to you by Austin's Weather Service out of Keystone Heights. Find Austin's Weather Service on Facebook and have a detailed local forecast sent right to you.
Check out the numbers. 4.1 down to 2.4 on Friday, a 0.1. No pollen in the air whatsoever. Yes. But there's a reason why there's no pollen in the air on Friday.
Of course there is.
It's a developing nor'easter that's going to be blowing in, and it's going to bring us some very nasty conditions starting on Thursday, extending into Friday. Good news is by Friday night, it starts to clear out a little bit. Let's take a look at the regional, and I'll show you the reason why. The forecast shows the clouds that cover affecting Nashville, those areas are going to be moving towards us as we go through the next 24 to 48 hours. Temperatures are nice in this area. Pascagoula, Mississippi, for the first time in 3 weeks, you've got sunny skies on a Wednesday, looking at beautiful conditions. Orlando, once again, in the 80s, fantastic conditions, and Charlotte looking pretty good too, but cloud cover mixing in, headed over towards Nashville. With Atlanta, you're right on the cusp of it. Those clouds are going to continue to move in towards the south, and as you can see, the temperatures that are in the 60s in Atlanta and the 50s in Charlotte, those numbers are going to continue to drop as they move closer towards us, getting towards the end of the week. Locally for us, here's what we're looking at. I'm expecting mostly sunny skies tomorrow. Beautiful conditions, highs around 80. You'll see the sunlight coming in, giving us a beautiful day on on Wednesday. But check out Thursday. Here it comes. Clouds roll in. A rumble of thunder is not out of the possibilities when temperatures starting to really drop off over the next 48 hours or so. Looking for improving conditions on the weekend. We'll have to see how that plays out, but plan to take your raincoat with you on Thursday and into Friday, as that nor'easter will bring us brisk, cold, northeasterly winds coming in off the Atlantic. That is the latest from Austin's Weather Service. David, we're going to throw it back to you.
All right, Michael, before you go, 2 questions. Okay. Homecoming week. Big week this week for the Bradford Tornadoes. Need a win, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit.
Yeah.
The parade on Friday. Oh, well, let's start with Tornado World. What's Tornado World looking like as far as the weather goes for Tornado World on Thursday night?
Bring an umbrella and your galoshes. It's probably going to be raining Thursday night. We're also going to be having, skits, unfortunately, may be impacted by this one. Now, it's going to depend because the timing of this frontal boundary moving into the area is what's really going to kind of throw us off because of the nor'easter that's coming in. However, I do believe it's going to be pretty brisk. Winds are going to be coming in out of the northeast, anywhere from 15, gusting to 18 miles per hour, and it's going to be cloudy, rainy, kind of a icky, nasty situation. I'm hoping that they'll be able to pull the skits off. I don't think the rain is going to be that significant in the evening. I expect the rain to move in on Thursday, kind of lessen off hopefully by Thursday, but overnight Friday and into the day on Friday, including the parade, I think we're going to have a problem. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. We will keep you up to date with the latest, but I would not hold your breath. It's certainly not going to be a sunny, beautiful homecoming the world or the parade is going to be under a lot of clouds.
All right, how about the game then? How about getting game time at 7:30?
Game time is improving because I think the nor'easter is going to start weakening as we move through Friday. So Friday night, the winds will start to lighten up a little bit. I don't see any rain in the forecast, and conditions will continue to improve through the weekend. So for us, a little bit better, still going to be brisk, still going to be cold. You're going to wear a jacket, bring a poncho with you just to be on the safe side, but I don't think that it's going to be a complete washout for the game. The concern that I've got is going to be that weather conditions that's going to build on Thursday moving into Friday, and the world's going to be a problem, but the parade's also going to be an issue.
Michael, I'm not laughing at your weather report.
I know you're not.
Did you see that one come across the lower third? Forget the Dragon Slayer, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Fun.
That's right.
Well, hey, that sounds like football weather to me, guys. I'll tell you. So that's a good weather report. We'll give you that weather report again toward the end of the night. Thanks, Mike, for sitting in for Austin Stevens and doing that for us. So appreciate it. Hey, guys, got a really good show coming up. Got a lot of local stuff coming up from Mitchell Gunner. Mr. Byron Bagwell's going to touch on a couple of things. We've got Pick'ems that's coming up. Dave's already been bugging me how he did last week. I'm going to tell him exactly how he did last week. Michael really don't want to know, at least for last week. He did all right the week before. Last week just took a little dime, but that's all right. Hey, he can rebound. We got some games. All right. Thursday night, there will be no Thursday night team trivia at the Downtown Grill due to Tornado World, everybody being there. You know Tornado World, guys, Do you know that gets about 3,000 people in that stadium?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
3,000 people to do that. The only other bigger event that's more than that is graduation.
Wow.
So, however, you can go to Fun Point tomorrow night for team trivia there. Bring a new unwrapped toy for the Toy for Tots holiday campaign and earn an easy 10 points to start the match. And that's a great idea, Mike. I'm going to ask you next Thursday night if I can start at 2 to help you out.
Absolutely. We'd love to have it. Matter of fact, we're really excited about the kickoff for Toys for Tots. Don't want to steal Mitchell's thunder. He's got some great information about that one. But we are starting the Toys for Tots campaign and Shop with a Cop. Both of them are kicking off the holiday season here in November, and I do expect us to have a really good season. I know times are tough with the country and the way it is, and inflation picking up and everything like that one. But it's always great to have a little something extra for the kids the holiday season.
Absolutely. So we're going to start at 2 on Thursday night for the next week too, so we can double up on the toys. So Mike and them will be able to do a good thing for Toys for Tots. All right, time to draw a winner for the month of October. From what's the date, Mr. Bagwell, or if somebody can hold it.
I think I drew
By the way, you want to tell everybody why there's not a gator helmet here?
No, I do not want to tell them.
no.
They know why there's a gator.
Okay, all right.
Well, there's one on there?
There's no gator. No.
This used to be a gator helmet. All right, here we go. Rubbing it up.
Why am I touching this?
It's not a gator helmet.
It's not
You're
a gator
okay.
helmet.
I don't want that rubbed off on me. You're my team.
All right, here we go. All right, I got it. Got it. Do you want me to hold it until after we do what's the date, or do you want me to go ahead and unveil it? Gentlemen, what do y'all want?
Unveil it.
Unveil it, he
Yeah,
says.
Yeah, go ahead. Who's won? Oh my gosh! I won again.
No, you didn't win.
Okay.
We have had a two-time winner in Roy Jackson, but that was back to back. But we've never had a two-time winner since we've been doing it as far as a last period of time.
Right.
Congratulations, Miss Shirley Bagwell.
Hey, Mom.
You have the $25 gift certificate. I'll hand that to you the next time I see you on Thursday, or I can give it to you. I won't be there Thursday because there's no trivia.
You can go ahead and give it to me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, make sure you get it to her. Yeah, all right, sure. Shirley Bagwell's the winner. All right, hey, let's move on. And now here's everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Vellis, and the Bradford County Telegraph, John Miller, John Ryan Tillman, Mark Crawford, and of course Cliff Smelly. Here's what's the date. These are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the first week of November in what year? Look at here. He's got me 4 of them. Thomas and Alvarez win locally. Departing commissioner honored. Suspect burned when meth lab explodes. How about that? Argument leads to stabbing and an arrest. Was it November of 2010, November of 2012, or November of 2014? Here we go with those topics. Thomas and Alvarez win locally. Departing commissioner honored. Suspect burned when meth lab explodes. Argument leads to stabbing and arrest. Was that November of 2010, November of 2012, or November of 2014? Here we go. I'll read the first one. You read the second one. You read the third one, and I'll read the last one.
That works.
Doyle Thomas won a 4th term as county commissioner, while Roman Alvarez won the District 5 school board race with 58% of the vote. Thomas was the only declared Democrat to have any success in a Republican-dominated turnout.
Right. John Wayne Hersey was honored following his last board meeting as a commissioner after he lost his re-election bid. He was presented a plaque for his years of service.
One person was severely burned on Halloween night when a meth lab exploded inside of a room at Sleepy Hollow Motel. Richard Lilly admitted to trying to cook meth when the explosion occurred.
Tiara Jefferson of Stark was arrested following a stabbing on Crosby Street, where her and another female was found with cuts on her face and around her neck area. Thomas and Alvarez win locally. You just heard it. Departing commissioner honored. Suspect burned when meth lab explodes. Argument leads to stabbing and an arrest. Was that, ladies and gentlemen, November of 2010, November 2012, November 2014. Here's where we're going to introduce everybody to the show. Glad to have you on. But before I do that, I am sorry. I missed something today.
Did you?
The quote of the night.
The quote of the night.
Can you give it to us in this segment? I am sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine, brother.
All right.
I mean, it happens.
There you go.
All right. Education is a weapon whose effects depend on who holds it in his hands and at whom it's aimed.
Mike?
Education is a weapon whose effects depend on who holds it in his hand and at whom it's aimed.
Is it a founding father?
No. This is especially for our wonderful governor's race tonight.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go off on a wild limb. I mean, way out there.
All right.
Joseph Stalin.
Okay. Dave?
Wow.
How about go with Buddha Dean? All right, Dave's going to Buddha Dean. All right.
Give me a second. You go ahead.
All right, I'm going to say...
Lord.
I'm going to say that this is... I'm going to say Rand. Halloran.
That's a good one.
I'm going to go somewhere totally different.
All right. Confucius.
No, I am going to go with Martin Luther King.
Wow.
I want everybody to think about how much sense this makes when I announce this. Listen to it and think about it in a little bit different of a manner than what I normally do with these.
Okay.
Education is a weapon whose effects depend on who holds it in his hand and whom it is aimed. Because Mr. Michael Heater was right.
Wow.
It is Joseph Stalin that said that.
Wow. Nice job. Wow.
That, I mean, it was logical to me, but I honestly it was shocking.
Nice, that's good.
It was in honor of the wonderful governor of Virginia who thinks
that parents should have no say-so in education.
Right.
Yeah.
That's really the reason why I said that.
All right, I've got one.
Okay.
Life offers you so many doors. It is up to you to which to open and which one to close. Life offers you so many doors. It is up to you which to open and which one to close.
I'll lead off with that one.
All right.
David Rodgers.
You know, that's pretty good. I'm going to have to go with Michael Eater.
I was going to say David Rodgers as well.
I believe that's Mr. David Rodgers.
That would be the one and only David Rodgers. Michael 2 for 2. You guys want to know.
It's a good night.
It's a good night,
Good
buddy.
night.
You better go get the dadgum cards. Something or lottery tickets. All right, welcome Renee Stegall Shaw, Jimmy Sparks, Shirley Bagwell, Tammy Testone. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Hello, Howdy!
Donnie Widge says hello, guys. Renee Stegall was on. I said, oh, Donnie Widge, and you can answer this in your segment. He goes, what does my water take? Well, Donnie, where do you live at?
Yeah, we need to know where he lives.
I can take that one. Yeah, I won't give his exact address, but I can tell you that he lives down near the downtown area. He is in City Stark.
Okay. All right. No pollen must be the bad smell coming from across the street. This Virginia governor's race, no results yet. That's exactly right, right, Dave?
not yet.
Not yet.
And they're actually waiting to figure out how many votes they're going to stop.
Okay, we'll stop there. Yeah, we'll stop right there. The model, Sharon Petterton's on. Martin Levin is awesome. Yes, he is. That's Mike's helmet. Donnie would say, yeah. Mama won. Yes, she did.
She did.
Shirley says, thank you so much. Donnie Widge, you ready? November 2010.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. He goes, oh, wait. No, Mike. 2012. I remember now.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, 2012. All right.
All right, 2012. I got it.
Yeah, Anthony Black, 2010.
He had no clue.
Look, I just know the stabbing was the gay guy stabbed his boyfriend.
No.
No, sorry. Different story.
Two females.
Yeah. Tammy Testone, 2010. Yep. Roy Jackson, 2014. Randy Brooks, 2010. Dwight Allen, good evening, fellow patrons. Good evening. Pepper Autistic's not been on a while. Hello, Pepper, how are you? Virginia race so far, 35.5. McCulphy, Youngkin, 63.8.
Really?
That's where are you getting that?
Yeah,
The last time I heard anything, it was a dead. It
was a dead heat.
It was dead even.
Yeah.
And you know.
My old classmate Renee, you gotta love her. Y'all gotta meet her in person, dude. I'm telling you, crazy chick, loves to have fun. Hey, she says which doors to open, which to close, and which to barricade. Renee, you're all over it, baby.
Renee is the ones tonight in Virginia that are bringing in the ballots after the polls are closed. That's
you
the
go.
ones you barricade.
Anthony Black's son, Edward Pettiford, says 2014, Mike. God will open doors and close them for you. Amen, Brother Allen. Hey, Shirley Bagwell, 2012. Let's see. Yeah. The Pettiford says 2012 again. Did she say 2012 before? Yeah. The model, excuse me. 2012, Dwight Allen said, go on Mrs. Bagwell. Okay. Pepper Statistics says 2012. And Sharon Pettiford, the model says, Dave, we're echoing badly again. And that problem has been taken care of. Anthony Black just said as well, problem's been taken care of, ladies and gentlemen. All right, going around the table.
Goats are like mushrooms.
Yeah.
If you shoot a duck, I'm scared of a toaster. Oh, 2012.
2012.
I'm out.
You're out. Because you know.
I wrote it, so I can't do it.
Yeah. Dave?
2012.
It was 2012. I was at the commissioner meeting.
It was 2012, and I'm going to go with that too because with that was going on too. Actually, Chris had just graduated, and Autumn was starting into high school when all this was going down. And I remember old boy coming by my door knocking, so I'm going 2012. And the answer is, get ready, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
I love the fact that they have such not so great memories.
Oh, it was 2010.
2010.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, got a few. Got a few in there.
Okay.
One more.
All right, one more quickly.
One more.
There I was in Wuhan, China, enjoying a bowl of bat soup.
Moving on. Moving on. Moving on. All right. Thank you guys for how many people got that right, Mike? Just a couple, right? Just a couple. We had a couple get that right. So you'll be put in the draw for that $25 gift card that we'll do at the end of the month, probably after Thanksgiving, right, guys? We'll do that and then go after Thanksgiving and we'll draw that for your $25 gift card. Congratulations, Mrs. Shirley Bagwell, on your second win as well.
Congratulations.
All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight, and we'll be right back with the local. It's really What's the Scoop? After we take this commercial break.
Community happenings and topics with our own local voice on current events, Mr. Mitchell Gunter.
the Downtown Grill, Bell's Outlet, Bradford County Sheriff's Office, and more on its way. You can drop off a new unwrapped toy at any of the locations, and a list is available on the Fantastic Fire Brigade Facebook page. If you would rather make a monetary donation, you can support Shop with the Cop through the Stark Police Department. Donations are accepted at the police office on Edwards Road in Stark, Florida.
Hey, I want to say something about the Shop with the Cop just really quick. And Michael's been involved. We've all been involved with this pretty deep. And I want to thank Mr. Barry Warren for doing such a great job.
Oh, yes.
It was this thing. It was his idea, along with a couple of others, to kick this thing off. He's been the chairman of this thing the whole time. It started off with just a few kids, and now it's well into the hundreds.
Oh, yes.
So I want to thank Barry Warren and everybody that's involved with the Shop with a Cop program. It's really good. A lot of kids get to enjoy things, and I believe that this Fantastic Fire Brigade toy drive is going to be good as well. Hey, got to get started somewhere. We'll start with this, and then we'll see how this builds up.
And I tell you, with all the officers, the Department
Yes.
of Corrections, with their officers as well that come help these kids gather up toys, you'll be surprised how many of these kids go into Walmart and they're more concerned about their brother and their sister or their mom than they are themselves.
Yeah.
And so some of these officers will actually dig in their own wallet and pull out money to help these kids accomplish buying gifts for their siblings and their parents. So
Jimmy Bowers, who I work with, I'm sorry, Jimmy, we're not at Slice and Dice tonight, so yes, no burger tonight, brother. Sorry.
We can't do that every time we have a show.
Yeah.
And actually, Mitchell brings up a great point, because last year I was involved with the Shop with the Cop program, and the buses that were streaming in and the kids getting off, and it was predominantly the kids that were shopping for a little brother, a little sister, other family members. They were so willing to do something, sacrifice what they wanted for somebody else. And it was a really great experience. So I encourage you, if you want to do a monetary donation, as Mitchell says, support Shop with a Cop, support Chief Warren and the entire Stark Police Department in the city of Stark. If you're interested in helping us with Toys for Tots program, the Fantastic Fire Brigade is taking over that lead in this region, and there are drop boxes. As Mitchell said, it can be found on the Fantastic Facebook page as well.
right, and I tell you, Michael, you bring up a good point. If you got $5, you got $10, it doesn't matter. If you can give just that little bit, it may go a long way.
A little bit
so,
helps.
I mean,
That's right.
you don't have to be the person that, giving $50 and $100 checks to Mr. Warren. He'll take anything that you have to offer to help these kids out to celebrate Christmas.
Exactly. Yep. What else you got for us, Mitch?
All right. So upcoming events also this Saturday at the firm, there is a 2021 Florida Autocross that's going to be happening. It starts at 7 a.m. Also on November the 12th through the 14th is what Michael likes. It's the Crawling for the Fallen. That will be taking place again at the firm. On Saturday, November the 13th at Gainesville Raceway, they will be holding a fall bracket bash. This event will start at 9 a.m. And on December the 4th through the 5th is the NRX event. And that is the Nitro Rallycross.
Right.
That's going to be taking part there with Travis Pastrana and a bunch of other racers. What's so good about this? This is not going to be a one-time event. They are going to be doing this over the next 5 years. And I want our community to go out and support it because it is going to be great for our community. It will help raise tax dollars for our area. And, hey, I like race cars. How about you, David?
Yeah, I like race cars too.
Yeah, only if they're made by Ford.
Only if they go fast.
Yeah, only if they go fast.
There you go.
Get to the Bradford County school system. This Thursday night, as we talked about earlier, is Tornado World, and that will be taking place again Thursday night. Tickets are on sale, $5. You can go to the Bradford County School District's Facebook page. There is a link there where you can purchase those tickets, and that will start at 7 p.m. Also, on Friday, November the 5th, is, guess what? The homecoming parade. I want everybody to try to come out and support the homecoming parade. And as we're talking about that, if Mr. Holland can throw up the map of the route there, it's a little different this year because Orange Street is under construction. So if you got your phones, screenshot it so you know where to line up for the parade. Also, with the Bradford County School System, since it's homecoming, they will have early release. The Bradford Middle School, the high school, and the Rainbow Center will be releasing students at 11 a.m. All the remaining elementary schools will be released at 12 p.m. And remember, the homecoming parade will start at 1 p.m.
Right.
So we were talking about the city of Stark, which we've already got our breaking news that they did approve that.
Yep.
But this past Monday was the Bradford County Commissioner meeting. They was discussing the fiscal year of 2021 and 2022, talking about their departments and how they were going to fund them. The departments that they were talking about was agriculture, building department, community development, the fire rescue, library, senior citizen center, and Veterans Affairs and zoning. So they have been discussing that. I will have to find out the ruling if that was accepted or not, and if so, we will get that news flashed up on our page as soon as possible. Also, I wanted to touch base with something that's happened in the state of Florida, which a lot of people don't know. But guess what?
What?
You can now bet on sports.
All right.
There is a app through the Hard Rock. It is called the Hard Rock.
Casino.
No, it's not.
No,
It's
no.
not through a casino. It's the Hard Rock Sporting page or something like that, where you can go on there and bid.
It's sporting betting chance, something like
Right.
that. I remember seeing.
But
it.
this is a partnership with the Seminole Tribe and the state of Florida. The Seminole Tribe will receive so much of that money, but they have signed a contract with the state of Florida that they will give back over $500 million per year for the next 5 years. Now, this has got some people upset why they were able to receive so much money, and I think it's because of the chance that the state of Florida can actually make quite a bit of money. So with the governor, they approved it. I think it's an okay move. I'm not really big on gambling.
No.
But if it's going to benefit the state of Florida and they can use that money, hopefully that will go into the general fund and they can spread it out through, education and other types of means. So, and then we wanted to talk a little bit because of what we done this past Saturday at Gainesville Raceway at the 352 shootout with Dave Holland and right here, our man David Rodgers. We had a great time, and I wanted to go over a few things. If Mr. Holland can pull up some pictures, we can kind of show you some of the different cars that were out there racing. So, and while he is looking at that,
let me say this,
Sure.
Mitchell. On top of that, and Michael, I'm going to tell you and Byron. First and foremost, I know Michael had a full plate. He had a lot of things going on, and that's why he couldn't make it. Byron was actually working that day as well. But let me tell you something. I've never been to an event where I actually sat in a tower, and even that close to cars going that fast. And I tell you, I was really floored and flabbergasted, and I really enjoyed myself. Byron, if you're looking straight down this camera, We were on the second level of that tower,
Right.
And we were right there. I mean, the cars. It almost feels like you could touch those cars. This is how close they were. The announcer was next to us. As y'all heard the live feed, you heard him announcing.
Right.
We would come in and talk when there was some breaks and when we felt like we needed to. But I'll tell you what, I really enjoyed myself. Dave enjoyed himself as well. I know he talked about how much of a good time he had. And I want to thank Derek, and I know you're going to be doing the hair in a minute, but for inviting us and letting us be up there and cover the event.
Well, if you could have seen Dave Holland's eyes when he got up there in that booth and he was like, holy cow, we got all of this room. This is all us. Remember?
Yeah, every bit of it, yeah.
There we go. That's
Yeah, it made it made it real fun. You know, and we like to try to bring some of these events. And guess who I'm calling tomorrow about getting passes for the Nitro Rally Circus?
Yeah, Kurt Miracle's car
So-
did pretty good.
Yes,
Yes,
he
it did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
And,
Kurt and Kenny Miracle's card. There it is right there.
That's
Beautiful green.
nice.
I tell you, that SS right there, the old Nova, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That man could throw those front tires up.
Right.
That
Can-
wheel.
And
Hey,
we
Dave,
had a lot of
stop it right there
Right.
a minute. Stop it right there a minute, Dave. Go back to that blue Mustang. Mitchell, give kudos to a local race car
Oh,
driver
yes.
that was driving that.
Houston McLean.
Thing there.
He's got a super nice fast car. He was running the 850 Index class out there.
Yes.
He owns a shop right here in Stark. So if you want some modifications done to your car, stop by and see them. They're back there in Industrial Park, right close to WEAG.
EAG, right behind it.
And I'll tell you, he'll do you fair. He really will.
Yeah, he's good.
And I'll tell you what,
Nice
they
kid.
actually had two cars.
Yes.
Because John Rollerson, he was also racing, and he was running a 10 Index class.
Chop.
What's the name of the shop again?
McLean.
McLean's.
Yep. So, and we wanted to get into some of the winners of the event. I'm going to start off, and I'm going to go back and forth with David. We're going to start off, let's say, with a small tire streetcar. You want to start off with that?
Yeah, small tire streetcar. Rick Prospero over Bear Crockett in that division there. Then you had the Outlaw 29 stick and 275
Right.
radials. Who was that?
Again,
golly.
it was Rick, and he had one over Dean
Valisi.
Valisi. Yep,
Yeah.
Valisi. Then we had our true 28 inch slick and 275 tire class, and that was Robert Riddle
Yep.
and over Kevin Smith.
And then we had the big tire. Jackie Bennett, single. Both semifinals were DQ. You want to tell them why they
Yes, the reason why that he did not have to run somebody in the final was because the other car passed the scales.
scales?
And you have to take your car to the scales
What a way
each
to lose,
time
huh?
to make sure that is the right weight in the car.
Yeah.
Wow.
And apparently there was maybe some shenanigans going on, and they realized that they didn't have the right weight in the car. The
Yeah.
car actually weighed less, so they bypassed those scales.
But it is a lot.
So, and then next
stick
was
shift.
the pro stick shift. That was Brent Nelson defeating David Hill.
And then on the street stick shift, Jeff Smith defeated Rich Nacero. That was a good race, probably one of the better races of the night there. And then you had Limited Street there, Mitchell.
That's right. And Dustin Terrence over Matt Laffender.
Yep.
And then the next class was Real Street.
And that's Chris Rossman. He defeated John Rollerson. And let me tell you why. Hey, John Rollerson, Houston McLean owns that car as well, or has got part ownership. He got up and he jumped the start,
Right.
jumped the gun. But oh boy, was very good about it. We was almost done. And he says, "I'm good. Let's come back and let's do it. I don't want to win like that."
Right. Rick Ross, yes.
Yes. What's his
Rossman.
name? Rossman.
Rick Ross.
Chris
Ross.
Rossman came back.
Came back.
Yep. And you want to talk about fate? He did it again.
Yes. And what the
Double
problem...
DQ.
Yeah, and what the problem was, his trans brake was not holding.
That's correct.
And it was causing him to roll his car through the beams. And unfortunately, he did it twice. And that's something that you do not see very often of that happening. I felt pretty bad for John Rollerson there. Super nice guy. And our next class was going to be daily driver.
Wesley Lee beat Bob Hoxton there. That was a good race, too, that daily driver. And by the way, gentlemen, we're going to talk about this. We're all going to get us a daily driver to put in there. We're going to pitch in some money to get us a daily driver. And we're going to race that thing down there next year. Yeah, we're going to put Michael Heater's going to get behind the wheel.
We're going to put a lot of money in the fire truck.
And we're going to race the fire trucks down there, by the way, too.
We're going to put 4 turbos on that thing.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, 4.
Yeah.
Can we put a supercharger on it?
No wheelies on the fire truck.
We got to have a supercharger and 4 turbos on that.
and I'll tell you, Bob Hoskins, he's actually pretty local. He lives over in Lake Butler.
Yeah, he does.
While the fire trucks are going down the track, we could take the water hose and cool down the crowd.
There you go.
And then our last final that's on here is open comp, and that was Ken Grant over Mark Horton, and that's actually the class that I ran in as well, but I didn't make it that far.
No, you didn't. But hey, you had some good runs, man. You had some good runs. It was really a great time. Now I want to thank Derek for bringing this come through. So
it was a great time, and
it was.
And hopefully we can do it again.
Well, all right.
And that's the scoop.
That's the scoop. All right. Oh, whoa. You almost had the scoop.
That like to have been the scoop.
That like to have been the scoop. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back with the Byron Bagwell after this commercial break.
Schuster & Sabin is the leading firm in Florida with 8 offices from the Panhandle to the Florida Keys to handle your claims for personal injury, workplace violations, and PIP claims for medical professionals. Visit us online at www.piplaw.com or call 24 hours a day at 877-511-7829. Schuster & Sabin Law Offices for all your legal needs. And now, with the latest national and international update, here is Your World Report with Byron Bagwell.
All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Mitchell, what a great job you did on the local there. Dave, thank you for all the graphics. Michael, thank you for the weather report. Wait a minute. It's your time for your segment. Byron, wake up. Wake up, Byron.
What?
We're doing a show here. It's time for your segment.
I'm not in Scotland anymore?
You're not in Scotland. What? You're not in Scotland? Are you dreaming?
Oh, Lord.
Oh, boy. Good
Give me a second
grief.
to collect myself.
All right, collect yourself. Good grief. Somebody else it reminds me of.
Sleepy Joe.
Who?
Sleepy Joe.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you awake now?
No.
All right.
Neither is he.
Neither is he.
David, you have some information you want to give out?
No. You go ahead and then we'll do this after. Absolutely.
I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in Virginia right now. And we talked a little bit, a couple episodes, about one of the incidences that was going on in one of the counties with the county schools. And what ended up happening was that we heard the whole entire thing about the child and a transgender person going into the bathroom and the allegations of rape, and there's a rape kit involved and everything else. Well, what's happening tonight is a Virginia gubernatorial election. So we have McAuliffe, who is the actual governor now, who is a Democrat, and Terry McAuliffe. And I can never remember Mr. Youngkin's first name. It's Glenn Youngkins, who is the Republican. Basically, he's opposing him. So we have this election going on right now. And one of the things that actually was said at the beginning, I think, is really reflecting in some of these numbers that are coming out now for the Virginia race. And we're going to give you some of them in live time here in just a minute. But one of the comments that the wonderful governor of Virginia made basically was that parents don't have a right to voice their opinions about what schools do. In other words, you can't do anything about your schools. And, Mr. Youngkins jumped all over it and it was basically, wait a minute, they're your children. You have a perfect right to say and do that. Well, a whole lot of mudslinging going on. One side would say this, and the other side would lie through their teeth and come back from mayors of different cities saying that because of the conversation about critical race theory that was going on with Mr. Youngkins, he wanted students not to know about slavery or the Holocaust and all of this nonsense. There was at one time an ad that was running that was being said that Mr. Youngkins was actually meeting with President Trump to do something, which was absolutely blown out of the water. It's been a circus is what it's been. And what is happening right now is a reflection of that circus because it's been proven false, and even some of the Democrat voters and the independent voters have looked at this and went, wait a minute, this guy's lying through his teeth about what's going on.
Right.
I hope the numbers keep on reflecting this. Michael, can you put that up there, or do you want... These are the actual live numbers that just came in a few seconds ago. Glenn Youngkins is winning the Virginia gubernatorial race 55.8% to Terry McAuliffe's 43.4%. And not all of the counties have come in, and 16% of the expected votes are in. So there's still a lot of time in this. There's still going to be more votes coming in.
Yeah, and actually, Byron, if I may, because we just got an update with 30% of the votes in, Glenn Youngkin is still leading, but the numbers have dropped to 53%. Terry McAuliffe is up to 46.4% with 30% of the votes expected. They have not called any counties yet, but the margin of the votes, and they've been changing. It was at one point 60,000. It grew to 100,000 at one point, and it is back down to 57,000 votes separating.
So let me ask you guys something right here, since y'all are both, we got the graphic up. Dave, bring that graphic back up, please, sir, if you don't mind. Thanks, Dave. All the counties that aren't colored yet, y'all, based on what y'all know and what you see, can this go blue, black, or is it tied? Is that what it's saying? I mean, they got to go somewhere, right? With what's left in the state, to me it looks a lot of rural. A lot of rural usually tends to go red. Am I hitting on something here, Byron?
Well, the northern part of Virginia is one of those places that typically vote Democrat.
Right.
So
let's go
those counties that are up top, they're
right.
Up top. I'm actually kind of shocked to see some of the ones that are up there in red. To tell you the
right
honest
there below
truth.
Alexandria. Yeah, usually all that is blue.
That is exactly right, because you've got to remember that borders D.C. Washington D.C. But it bodes very well. These numbers really do bode very well, because this is not the normal case for a Republican in Virginia right now.
Right.
And it's a direct result of the things that the Virginia governor has said and done. I hope these numbers hold up, and I hope we don't have this so close at the end of it that when they close the polls, we have no clue what's going on, because they're going to stop all of this, and we could very well end up with the same thing that we ended up with on the last presidential election.
Yes.
Whether you believe that shenanigans happened, which I'm one of those people who still believe shenanigans happened,
yeah.
Or whether you don't
all
believe
of us
it.
are.
The point is when that closes, you have no clue until they come back out and tell you what's happened.
Right.
And that should never be allowed to happen.
Right.
When the polls close, the voting should end. That's it. No more. You don't get to bring any more ballots in. You don't get to do this, do that, do the other. It's done. Because what they're going to end up doing with that type of nonsense is there's not going to be anybody that believes an election on one side. And you're going to alienate half the country doing that if that crap continues on. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I should have said that, but that's true.
Right.
It's garbage, is what it is. They've got to stop doing that because it makes them look guilty. If they're not, then quit acting like that. So I wanted to go over just a little bit of that. By the way, the gentleman who was the father of this child, this freshman that was raped,
Right.
in the bathroom, supposedly by the transgender person,
Right.
has demanded an apology not only from the school board but from everybody that was involved with it, which goes all the way up to guess who?
The AG.
Yeah.
The Attorney General of the United
General's
States.
office,
He should resign.
Well, yes, he should. And I'm so glad he is not a Supreme Court justice because he is. Think about this. This man has actually just stated that he's going to have the FBI investigate parents of children for going to school board meetings and speaking out against school board members. Now, there is a difference between going out and making a threat, but that is what your local police are for. It is not the job of the FBI to investigate American citizens going to a school board meeting and voicing their opinions on what's going on with their kids.
I'm going to stop you right there, Byron, and sort of getting off but staying on the same subject. Michael, you've been a parent, you know. Dave, so have you. Mitchell, you are. I have been. B, you've been in the school system. All right. So, you know, they want parents to stay out of school business, this and that. Don't get involved with the school board. Don't get involved in any of the things we got going on. But at the first of the year and during the year, they don't mind coming up and saying, Michael, Mitchell, I need you to get me some supplies for my kids and the teachers because we're running low on money. But you don't want us to get involved now, right? But they're coming to ask you to get these supplies because supposedly there's not enough money in a lot of these schools' budgets to keep, pencils, paper, the necessary things.
Because we have to have gender studies and all this other garbage added into it.
Right. But they're not afraid to come and ask you to get involved then, right? Yeah, when they need something, they're not afraid. And this is this double standard that we have in this great country that we live in today. What's good for this particular point and this particular time is okay, but at another time it's not, and I'm getting sick and tired of this double standard, Dave, on everything.
Well, there is really a perfect response to that. If you don't want me in my child's business and school business, then do it without my tax money.
Right.
Period. If I'm not going to be able to be involved with something that you take my money from me to run, then you can do it without it.
Well, I'll tell you, Byron, with all this stuff that's going on, we see less and less kids going to public school than we have in the past.
Yes, that's right.
And eventually, parents are going to get sick and tired of it. They're going to put their kids in private school. And guess what? The public school system is going to die.
Well,
and if they don't do something soon and correct this problem, within the next 10 to 15 years, the public school system may be dead.
Well, here's the other thing that happens with what you're talking about, and you're absolutely right, Mitchell. It may be dead. Here's the other thing that happens with this. When you actually go to do this, all of those things they talk about these schools being equal, the equal education, the better schools, the better students go to, and everything else. Here's what happens. When you start having, and I'm telling you, the parents that have money are already doing it. when you start having all of these students with the capability to go to private schools, going to private schools, those other schools are going to suffer because you know why? Unless you're a very special person and you want to teach in that district because you went there or it's your home or something like that, guess what the better teachers are going to do? Because guess where the money is going to go?
Right.
They're going to the private schools too. They're going to destroy it.
or homeschool.
Yeah,
I mean, you're going to be able to keep your money to yourself.
For yourself.
For yourself.
Well, no, you
but
actually can't. You're still
can't.
going to they're still
yes.
going to charge you these taxes.
Right.
But
Can't
here,
get
But the
taxes.
extra monies and everything else that is needed. Yeah, hey, okay. You know well as well as I know.
Here's the thing: when you get 50% of the students going to private schools, and those 50% of those parents, all it takes is 50.1% of them go, "I'm not paying your taxes anymore. We're about to change these laws," and they change the laws,
Right.
and they don't pay taxes anymore. It's going to make the public system even worse, and it's very possible that they do that. Say anything you want to about that, but if enough people get together and go, "I've had enough, I'm not paying for it anymore, you're not taking my money out," to call, in the case of school districts, which Florida, thank God Florida doesn't have, with critical race theory, calling my child who is 10 years old a racist because he has white skin, they get enough of that, they stop this, and they quit paying for it. The school systems are not going to be able to function, and you're right, it's going to destroy them. Mm-hmm. Now, here's another question. I like to look at things from a bunch of different angles when I talk about stuff like this. Is it possible that they're doing this on purpose?
Well, and that's what I was just getting ready to ask you is, boy, it sure almost looks like it, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, this would be a tinfoil hat conspiracy theories. Sometimes are tinfoil hat conspiracy theories until somebody goes, "That actually happened."
Right. Hey, and
It's nothing but a
talking
theory.
And you know what you were talking about, private schools, parents having money. But a lot of these private schools are offering scholarships.
Sure they are.
Come on. We will get you money for your child to be able to come here.
This bottom word right
It
here.
generally gets, how does that usually come about? Athletics.
Yeah.
If you're good in athletics,
They can,
man, hey, here you go. Here's a scholarship.
Right.
Hey, okay. Mitchell, you're a 3.8 student, but you play football. Byron, you're a 3.8 student. Just don't play, don't do anything. Bowles is giving out a scholarship.
the
who's
football
gonna
player,
get-
the football player's getting the scholarship.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
if I played tennis
Even if you
or
played tennis
baseball or something,
whatever.
they're going to get, if they have one.
because
If they have one scholarship
Right.
there, football is going to.
that's exactly right.
Here's what I'm going to say about this. If you know anything about how Marxism, socialism, communism works, this is one of the way that it works. It destroys things from within. And if you take a look at what's going on in this country and you watch and you look, it may not look like it's designed to do it. But what they're doing and have been slowly doing over the last 100 years is, guess what? This sort of thing.
Right.
Think about what's disappeared in the last 100 years.
Right.
Well, I tell you, Byron, not to kind of jump off pace, but it's pretty scary when they run a poll, and about 60% of Americans say that it may take violence to get our America back. That's pretty daggum scary. And the poll has been done.
I know it's been done, and those are the numbers. But the thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to happen like that.
Right.
What has to happen is we have to actually take our government back. We don't necessarily have to take everything back, because the number of people that really support this garbage that's going on right now is really low, and all you have to do is look at the approval numbers from the Democrat Party and our president right now. And then you look at things like what the numbers are on the Virginia governor's election. Right. You will start to see that people don't like this. There are a lot of people in this country who are really liberals. And by liberal, I don't mean Marxist, I don't mean socialist, I don't mean communist. They have a liberal ideology that is somewhat close to what liberalism should be. And they see this, and they want things that these people are promising. When they don't get them, and they see what happens afterwards, a lot of them didn't fall off an apple cart. They're smart enough to go, hey, this is not what we were asking for, and it's not what we were asking for is not what we're getting. So we have a problem with this. I mean, when's the last time you heard a presidential approval rating that was in the 30s?
Let me rephrase you. Excuse me. As of today, 26%.
26%.
Yeah.
When is the last? Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah.
When's the last time?
26%.
I mean, I don't even know if Jimmy Carter had an approval rating that low.
No.
And look what happened to him. Reagan shellacked him in the next election.
Yeah.
And look at the outrage of what people is shouting. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well,
we have never experienced this before. We have never seen this.
oh yeah. Well,
I mean, this is something new.
Yeah.
So it goes to show you the support's not there for this administration that we have right now.
here's the problem. You can snow Americans for a little while, but most of us are educated and we understand things that's going on. You can sell people a bill of goods, and it's garbage. And you can dress it up with all these fancy words and all of these things, but when it doesn't work, they are going to go, wait a minute, you just sold me a false bill of goods. And they're going to be outraged, which is what's happening with America right now. You know, we were talking about schools, but I'm going to use this. Do you know our president, who was sleeping before this, actually at a conference about global warming in Scotland, actually had the nerve to say that OPEC and Russia needed to ramp up the production of oil, so the price of gasoline would go back down. I want everybody to think about that for a second. At a global warming conference. Okay, does it matter where the oil comes from? Whether it comes from us or whether it comes from Russia or OPEC? To a person who believes it's destroying the world, does it really matter where it's come from? And then this president is sitting there saying that to the world.
He has no clue of what he's doing. I mean, it shows.
Here's the point. If they ramp the production up, because the demand's there, are they going to jack the prices up even further? If I was OPEC and Russia, that's exactly what I would do, and it's probably what they're going to do, which means our gas prices are going to go higher because dipstick cut our pipelines off and quit our production. We no longer are the largest importer of gas and oil in the world because of this administration and who runs it. And I'm not talking about just Joe Biden. I am talking about all of them.
And I tell you, Byron,
Every single one of them.
with this administration that we have right now, you think gas prices are bad right now? Wait till summertime.
What? Take a look.
Wait till summer.
Take a look at one of his cabinet members. He writes his campaign, the actual plan that they had. He takes his campaign, puts it on there, and basically copies the majority of it out of the Constitution of the
USSR.
The USSR. Do you think it's going to work? There's a reason why Ronald Reagan was able to actually financially destroy the USSR, because communism, socialism, and Marxism do not work. They don't work.
All you got to do is look at some of the South America countries, and you wonder why there's such a flood of illegal immigrants wanting to come into the United States. You know,
Venezuela?
The one thing I don't understand is, you know, the Biden administration's okay with open borders, but guess what? I want Americans to determine who becomes our president or not not illegals, because a lot of these illegals, if they get
yes.
in here and get their hooks and they can vote, do you think they're going to vote for the Democratic Party?
Well,
do you think they're going to vote for socialism when they just came for socialism? Heck no.
Here's the problem with what you're saying. If it was just people coming here
I
for
like
that,
but it's not. Yeah.
just coming up to be in America from what if they're running from socialism,
Right.
I agree with that 100%. If you talk to Cuba, anybody that comes from Cuba, they will tell you they're not voting for anything that's anywhere near like what they left.
Right.
But here's the problem with these caravans and everything that they're doing. These things are being organized. And what they're doing is they're paying these people. Because, I'm sorry, you do not weigh 300 pounds, have a cell phone stuck in your ear, and have just walked 300 miles. I am sorry. I don't know that I could walk 300 miles, and I don't weigh 300 pounds. But if you look at some of these people, they are getting bussed from place to place to place to place. They are not walking anywhere.
That's just for you.
Yeah, hey Byron, just to let everybody know, the lower third of the ticker that we have going across there is being updated every 3 minutes with the election numbers.
And those numbers
are starting
made me smile.
Oh, yes, buddy.
56%?
Yeah. All those counties that we were talking about that didn't have a color to them, as we discussed,
Started turning
red.
Are turning red.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wait till the polls close and see
Absolutely.
what they can pull up.
Absolutely.
I don't trust anything coming out of Virginia because that governor and his state's attorney actually fixed the last presidential election in Virginia. Nobody will ever change my mind about that because they changed the election laws, which is unconstitutional. I don't care what the Supreme Court says. I don't care what anybody else says. The Constitution clearly states that the state legislatures control that.
Yep.
So, it is what it is.
I want one more question for you, going back to the educational side of it.
Sure.
And I think between you and Mitchell and the guys on the poll can answer it. You know, you were talking about, Mitchell, about eventually public schools going away. I thought about another portion of students that this will really hurt. And wouldn't that hurt the special needs kids?
Sure.
Kids that, need help,
would.
that require an intensive, learning, ESC kids, I guess is where I'm going.
It depends on how much money the parents have. Because if they can send them to a private school, your good teachers are going to end up in private schools. I mean, the problem is this hurts the lower middle class and the poor. It's who this hurts.
Yeah, and again, for those parents, that are trying to do the right thing, and got these kids with ESC and special needs. Well, if you can't afford to send them to a private school or a school that has this, what are they going to do? What is going to happen? And I think that's where you're going with this, B. We've got to cut this off right here at the bud and figure this thing out before, like Mitchell said, it gets way, way out of hand.
I can tell you how to fix the problem. I can tell you how to fix the problem right now. It's not simple, but I can tell you how to fix it.
Okay.
First off, you start teaching real history.
There you go.
Okay. Second off, you teach the fact that what these teachers are learning in college right now is just absolute idiocy. And you do not allow them to bring that into your school districts. There are a lot of things in college that are taught that's very good, but when they come in to your schools with ideas that a Marxist, communist, socialist professor, and there's all three of them scattered out through the universities, they'll tell you they're one of three for the most part. When they come in with ideas that have been pounded into their head from those professors, you don't allow them to do any of that in class. And if you find out that, guess what, they have been doing that, you fire them on the spot. No more, goodbye. You cannot teach it anymore on any level at primary education. You can't secondary, primary, anywhere. What happens at that point is when you start having a generation of students who are actually taught in a classical sense, and they start going to these places, what happens is is they look at their parents and go, I can't handle this. I'm not doing this. These people are crazy. And then guess what happens? The enrollments at the university start to go down. Then guess what happens? They figure out why the enrollment's going down, and then those professors go bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yep.
So there are ways to do this. There are ways to fix it. Mm-hmm. Because there are going to be places that they won't ever disappear in. Harvard, places. Places like that. They're just funded too well.
Right.
But normal colleges, you're not going to have that anymore because the parents and the students are going to drive them out.
And you know which ones it's really going to hurt? The small colleges, junior colleges, places like that don't get a lot of funding. A lot of that funding comes from students that can't or are not able to get into a regular university or regular college at that time. That's who's going to hurt first. And you'll see a lot of these junior colleges, Division II schools, if you want to go, a lot of these smaller schools go bye-bye.
Well, if you want to teach it.
Right.
At a college level. But don't wrap it in what's right, what's actually right.
Now, I got a question.
Sure.
What would happen if we lose our educational system?
Great question.
My hope would be that it would go back to what happened before the actual education system was founded. And not a lot of people know this, but the actual churches used to be responsible for educating children of their community. So the churches would retake that responsibility. Now, what happens to the 50% of America who don't go to churches anymore? What's the answer to that?
Underground education?
Parents.
No, parents. You'd have to homeschooling for sure.
It would have to be parents. If you looked at it, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in any of this, and they're going to teach my child about Christ. I'm not listening to any of that. I'm not having my child learning any of that. I'm homeschooling this. I'm going to have to homeschool my kid. Well, then the problem becomes the majority of Americans. Not only does one parent have to work, but the majority of the parents right now, 2 of them have to work to actually survive.
I think what also you'll see, Byron and Dave, see if you agree with me, Mitchell as well, and Michael, I think you'll see, because once the education system goes, what happens? There's no more teachers. There's no more principals. There's no more paras. There's no more of that. It's done, right?
It's the beginning of a third world nation.
That's exactly right. And or these people are still very smart. They're educated. You know what they're going to do? They're going to open up their own schools. They're going to open up their own small schools, and they're going to be able to charge you for your kids to be able to go to that school. I think that's what will happen. Hey,
here's the whole problem with everything that we're talking about. I know that there's been a corruption that has crept into this country for over 100 years now.
Right.
But here's the problem with America. America has too large of a middle class for what these people are trying to do to be successful in the portion they want to be successful in.
Right.
Sooner or later, the middle class is going to get tired of their crap. They're going to figure out that, hey, if I actually had $1.10 back in my pocket for each gallon of gas that I had, guess what? Guess what happens? That $52 that it cost me to fill up my Ford Ranger yesterday now becomes $30.
Right.
And I have $22 more dollars
right.
that I can use for food. I can use it for whatever I need to use it. Right. Well, wait a minute. I do that 4 times a week. That's $200 where I was spending $120.
You don't want to pay for gas like I pay for gas.
Look, 2 fire engines.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Pop.
Right, and you're trying to run a business. That's not you for just a joy and fun around. You're trying to better yourself. Right. You're trying to become a better citizen of this country. Try to open up a small business And guess what it's going to cost you to do
It's
that?
tough these days.
Well, here the whole entire thing about all of this, okay, is that when people start waking up to this, there are people that will say it will be too late.
Yeah.
Okay, some people it will be too late for them, and they'll buy into it for the rest of their lives. But the problem is the people that actually have the ways and means to solve problems and to do things are really starting to wake up to this, with the exception of very, very large companies. Because, you know, those people that sit up on top of the Congress and basically talk to all of our congressmen and senators, that is where they swing their power with. Not with votes, it's with lobbyists and lobbying. So that's where they get if we do this for you, if we donate this much money for you, if we start running ad campaigns and do this and do that and do the other, you need to do this with this bill and that with that bill and the other.
I think you should do away with the lobbyists
Now
and
here's
start doing what the voters want.
Here's the problem. And it's the same problem every time I hear somebody that's a quote unquote liberal or Democrat say the giant corporations, they are the ones that are at fault. They shouldn't have any say so whatsoever. Guess what a corporation is made up of? Stockholders? What is a stockholder?
Citizen.
Yes. That's right. They are American citizens. They should have a say in it. Now, I have an issue with a little bit of part of that, because if you have a stockholder that's living in Japan, they shouldn't have a say so in it.
Nope.
So it's kind of a
catch-22 there.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah, it is.
But when people say the big evil corporations, well, guess what? You're calling American citizens evil. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't understand the lack of chain of logic when it comes to some people. I just don't get it.
Right.
I just don't get it. In other news about our wonderful, wonderful president.
Hang on.
Okay, yeah, hang on.
It's coming. Hang on.
All right.
Second.
Oh, wait, matter show?
Huh? What?
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 You woke me up.
Sorry.
Oh, all right.
Were you in Scotland?
I was.
Were you in Skye?
I
Or how about Orkney?
was.
Oh man, if you were in the Orkney Isles, I'm gonna get mad at you, man. They make a great Scottish
I
ale.
was there, as a matter of
in
fact.
the Orkney
Yes,
Isles,
I was
man.
there.
Lord,
Yeah,
that stuff
yeah.
is good. It's
Yeah,
called
it
Skull
is.
Splitter. It's really good. Really, really good. That's what he was drinking before he passed. Oh, stop it. Okay. So,
I know you don't even want to go there, do you?
no, I don't really want to go there. I get so furious about anybody who would have voted for this clown. It makes me insane. How do you not see this coming?
You know, 26%.
Dad, 26%. He has a 26% approval
Right.
rating in some polls right now.
Yeah.
26%.
Michael Heater could have a better number than that.
Michael Heater would have a much better number than that,
You
because
ain't
Michael
kidding.
Heater has more sense
Since
than
then,
a toaster.
Yes.
And that might very well come into play next year.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I know. All right.
don't subject yourself to that machine in
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. You would that.
I know.
Look,
He's talking about something else.
But yes.
look,
Anyway.
guys, I'm glad we got to talk a little bit about all of this tonight. What I wanted to do before I threw it to a picture that we just found that everybody needs to see is I wanted to get one more update on the Virginia election and the numbers on the Virginia election.
And that is...
I mean, I'm
Look at that.
55.7 to 43.6.
Look at the red.
And there is, what,
Two counties there are 3 counties still unaccounted for.
Right. I think there's more counties in there than that.
No, I mean that are just the gray.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think
You think there's broken up in there?
I think there's more counties than that. But there's not very many counties left. 50% have shown up, and once again, the American public is speaking. Now, they have to watch these poll numbers. They have to watch them. There's only 3 counties left.
There's 3 counties unaccounted for at this point. There are at this point Campbell County, Charlotte County, and Southampton County have not had any results that have come in like that. The rest of that's all waterways.
Okay, now
everywhere else has some numbers coming in.
Could you do me a favor, Michael, before we go on to the photo? Could you look at? Does it tell you how many people live in those counties? I would really be interested to know how many people live in those counties and if it's even possible for McAuliffe to catch him.
I can, but I can tell you that in some of the states that are showing, only 7% of the precincts are recorded.
Oh, okay.
So we have a long way to go.
We still have a long way
to go.
Hey, while Dave's getting ready to pull up that picture, I want to read off a few comments, okay? Because our viewers, of course, are a very important part of the show, and I've got something else to go over with as well. Tammy Testone said Albie was part of Shop with a Cop, and it really helped her because he was in the hospital when that was going on. Okay. Donnie Weeks says, hey, I can get a chip put in my car, Mitchell.
Oh, wow.
Unless you know. Do you know when the Shop with a Cop is? The date?
I do not.
You know?
We'll find out.
We'll find out, Miss Bagwell.
Hang on a second. I'll find out in just a second. Right now. Hold on.
Is a stick shift semi-automatic. He's crazy. I used to vote for Democrats a long time ago.
Me too.
There you go.
Me too.
Just wait until they find 30,000 votes and someone's Trump. Talking about that Virginia election. That's Donnie.
Who was wanting a chip for the car?
Donnie.
Don't buy a chip.
No, I think
Go
he's
have
messing
it
around.
tuned.
Shirley Bagwell says, I agree, son. He was Jennifer Floyd. Okay, don't send your children there. Hello from Team Hot Topics with Z and Tuck, along with the Endless Empire and the GY6 networking team. He wants to know how we are. That's Ray J. We're doing good. We're doing really good, brother. Good. Loving your show. Doing our thing over here. Hopefully one day, hey, may have a little news. Our local guru may be heading to Arizona. I don't know what part.
For a conference or something.
Yeah, and if so, maybe you can host with Z, because Tuck will be here now at that time. So maybe we'll have to see. We'll get a hold of Z and find out. As if I said there before, as if I had said before, there will only be a very few public schools. Fairfax County, the Crown Cities, okay. Let's go to that video and then I'll finish. Oh boy.
That's about right.
Oh boy. Good grief. Woo boy. And that's all we got to say to that, folks.
But as a good segue, since we're looking at teddy bears.
Yes.
Teddy bears are a great toy for children at part of Shop with a Cop, which will be occurring this year on Tuesday the 14th and Wednesday the 15th.
2 days worth.
2 days.
It's gotten that big now where it's 2 days worth.
It was that way last year, too.
So 14th and 15th, Shirley, of December.
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. $5 a gallon gas soon. I wouldn't doubt it. Joe Biden used 85 vehicles and jets to cry about climate change. Yeah.
Thank you, John Kerry, who was there too. He actually had to fill in for our president because he was late. But not only was he late, he was asleep. Sorry, I had to add that part in. I forgot about that until you said that.
I did. I want to answer Renee's question. She said, "David, did you have Mrs. Chandler for government PHS at Pascagoula High School?" I did. I think I was in a class after you. The world needs more Mrs. Chandlers. She did not pass. This is back in 1980 now, 79, 80. She did not pass along propaganda. She taught us about how the government is supposed to work.
We had one of those here too.
Yes, sir. And I know him. And if any time he was Ronnie Harris, Renee would love him, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
She would love him. Shirley said there will be so many private schools, as you said. Talking about that, okay. Gave us a thumbs up for the show. And just different things right there. I appreciate all you guys' comments. Byron, you want to last parting words, and then I want to get into some pick'ems. Dave wants to know about that. Yeah. And we're going to close down the show.
Parting words. We went from having a person who knew what they were doing as the President of the United States. People didn't like how he run his mouth. Heck, even at times, I didn't like how he ran his mouth. But at least he ran this country in a manner which it was prosperous and running well. Look at what is going on, and a full year hasn't even really gone by. Look at the condition this country has turned into and what it's turning into. And think about what's going to happen in this next election. You have a choice. I am not saying that all Republicans are good. There's a bad Republicans out there I would not give you a plug nickel for. But anything is better than what's sitting there now. We have to get the adults back in control of Washington, D.C. this November, this month. Go vote for your congressmen and senators and kick these people out. It has got to turn back red again. Both of them. Because if it doesn't, they're going to continue to do this. I'm not saying the country's not going to survive, but it's sure not going to look like it did 4 years ago at this next presidential election.
Byron, thank you for a great segment. Mitchell, thank you for a great segment. As we get ready to wrap up the show, just got a couple of more things that I need to do here. And one is talk about homecoming, as Michael and Mitchell has already alluded to. Got homecoming this week. We're playing Live Oak Swanee. They're 6-3. We're 4-5. I don't know where the standings are yet, Michael. We'll know that tomorrow because that's when the standings come out. So... Oh, it is Fort White. I'm sorry.
Oh, you say it was Fort White. You
Fort
said
White.
Swan,
My bad. I said Swanee. Yeah, we've already kicked their tail.
We should be 4-4. I think 4-4, aren't they? I think we are.
No, they're 6-3.
Oh,
they won. Yeah, they beat Interlochen 14-7. They're 6-3. Gotcha. We're 4-5. We need this win. I'm hoping we're holding the third spot right now. Don't know. We won't know till tomorrow. But we need to hold the third or fourth spot so we can hold a home game. Playoff game. This team is beatable. I think if Michael says the weather stays away a little bit, we should be able to beat them. We should be a pretty good game. They only beat Interlochen 14-7.
Right.
So,
but please, no pooch kicks.
Well, we'll and again, that's one of those things there. Anyway, so we got that coming. Also, in about 2 weeks, Dave, Michael, Mitchell, and Byron. Big announcement about tornado football and the way things are going to go down with tornado football.
Wow.
I'll make sure you know. I've got to keep it under wraps. I've talked to several people about it, to include Chuck Kramer, Big Kevin, Mary Kramer, several people, and there's going to be a big announcement. I'm hoping we can make it here first, but it may be over the airwaves. So be listening on Friday nights.
Or we could possibly do a special live.
You could, and it'd have to be on a Friday night with the football game.
That's okay.
That could happen as well. So, all right.
How many games we got left?
We got this one for sure, and then a playoff game. Just don't know where it's going to be. We're going to be in the playoffs. We just don't know where.
Where? If they win this game and they keep the third ranking,
right? It'll be at home. A third or fourth ranking.
If they drop lower than that,
we're on the road.
On the road. I would really don't want to go to
Pahokee eventually. No. Yeah, no, me neither. All right, here is the pick'ems. Dave, you're 8-7, not bad. Michael Heater, you're 7-8, not bad. Mitchell Gunner, you're 8-7. Byron Bagwell would have had a great week. He went 3-4. He's 8-7. David Rodgers is 9-6. So I'm one game ahead of you guys.
Well,
all right. Here's the pick'ems for this week.
You should have been 10-5, and I should
I should have been 10-5, and you should have been 9-6.
Mitchell should have been 2.
Yeah,
that was
we
one of
picked
the worst,
Florida State.
Worst officiated games I've ever seen in my life.
All right, here we go. Going around the board really quick. Starting with Liberty Eagles 7-2 at number 15. Ole Miss Rebels 6-2. That's Hugh Freeze's team that used to coach Ole Miss, and the Flying Lane Kiffins. Who do you have?
Ole Miss.
Okay, Byron Bagwell says Ole Miss. Michael.
Oh, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Michael says not even, without a doubt. No. David?
Yeah, I'm Ole Miss.
You're going Ole Miss at 2. Mitchell?
The Rebels. Oh, we can't do that anymore. I'm sorry. Stop it.
I got to think about this for a minute, but...
Okay.
He wants
Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. All right. So...
Nobody gaining anything.
And you know what? As much as I'd love to go with Liberty, they got that Malik kid. That's that quarterback, and he is hotter than a firecracker. Matt Corral, I'm not sure how he's going to be, but give me the Fighting Lane Kiffins at home. Ole Miss.
At home, yeah.
Yeah, at home. Number 22, Penn State, 5-3 at the Maryland Terrapins, 5-3. Who do you got? Let's start with you, Michael.
Wow.
Why are you lobbing softballs out there?
I know it, man. This is going to be some pickups for you guys.
You know, you say softball, but I think that's actually going to be a really close game.
It is going to be.
I think I'm going to take Maryland.
All right. Not a bad choice there, Mr. Heater. Not bad. He's going to take the Terrapins. David Holland. Penn State. You want Penn State. All right. Byron?
Joe Pod just told me who I needed to take.
All right.
And he said, don't ever listen to anybody taking Maryland on any pick. Penn State.
All right. Mitchell.
I'm Penn State as well.
I'm going to have to agree with Michael Heater, man. I think this game is closer than what people think. I'm going upset. I'm going Maryland.
Yep.
At Maryland. Yep, I know. Number 12, Auburn Tigers, 6-2 at the number 13, Texas A&M Aggies, and they're 6-2. This is the toughest pick on the whole sheet. Yeah. So here we go. We'll start with Michael Heater.
I want Auburn, but I'm taking the Aggies.
Taking Texas A&M. All right. You like those picks, don't you, there, Byron? David Holland.
Texas A&M has kind of been pretty tough in
last few since they beat Alabama.
Several of their sports, like volleyball, they were, I think, number 1.
I think that you're right. They're pretty good at basketball, too.
We'll go with A&M.
You're going with A&M. Okay, I'll just put you down for A&M. Mitchell?
I'm Auburn.
Oh, you're Auburn. He said he ain't going to burn me again. Byron?
I'm not going against our old coach. Jimbo is going to have those boys playing. Give me Texas A&M.
Man, I almost want to take Auburn because they burnt me twice. I'm going A&M at home, man. They're very close.
They beat Alabama. What are you talking about?
I got you.
Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Auburn has beat Ole Miss, and they beat LSU 2 weeks in a row. I know they ain't that great, but still. All right. Here we go. Tennessee Vols 4-4 at number 18. Kentucky Wildcats. Michael.
Oh, Kentucky. No doubt.
Do you want me to just go Kentucky across the board? Does anybody want Tennessee?
Well, for me.
You want Kentucky? Okay.
The only person that would want
is Jeff Booty.
Jeff Booty, and he ain't in the room.
All right, Mitchell. I know Michael. Byron. How you feel about it? I'm just going to put you down for him.
I think that Kentucky is the second best team in the SEC.
I'm thinking you're right. Kentucky across. I just want to see if anybody picked Tennessee and go with Jeff. Here's the teams y'all probably don't know about, but they're very good teams, and they are FBS Sub Bowl division. Well, no, they're not. They're just in the non-Power 5. Number 16, University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners, 8-0 at UTEP, 6-2. University of Texas El Paso.
Wait, now is El Paso the Coyotes? Because that would really make for a great community.
It's pretty close. I think there's something.
Roadrunners and Coyotes.
I'd have to look them up and see what they are. Look up and see what UTEP is. I think they're the Miners.
Something like that.
Yeah. Who do you like, Michael? You like the 16th ranked team 8-0 on the road at UTEP, or you like UTEP at home?
It's going to be an unfortunate home loss for that one.
All right, so you want the Roadrunners.
Yeah, I'm taking the Roadrunners.
I'm going for the Roadrunners too, man. That guy gets away with everything.
Mitchell Gunner. Oh my! Where can we have so much fun? Look
What's
at
the
everybody.
records again?
The Roadrunners are number 16th in the country, 8-0, and UTEP 6-2.
I think UTEP is going to make
I'm
it a
not
good
taking
game.
UTEP.
You want the Roadrunners?
I want Roadrunners.
I
He
think
don't
they're
want the
gonna
road.
make it.
He wants the road runner.
Oh, he wants that. Yeah,
Yes.
I got him. Yeah, that's San Antonio. Who you want, the UTSA or UTEP?
Meet, Zabang!
You want the Roadrunners. I want the Roadrunners too, man. I don't care if they're the Miners or not. It's the UTEP Miners, isn't it? Just put UTEP nickname. All right, here we
You
go.
won't show me nothing. That's what I tried.
Here we go. I want to see how many bandwagoners we got. Florida Gators 4-4 at South Carolina 4-4. Last pick besides the high school football game. Michael Heater. You want to try to win pickups now? You need to pick up a game.
Yeah, I know.
So you want Florida.
Go Gators.
All right, he wants Florida. All right, Dave Holland.
Go Gators.
Gotta go with the Gators, he says. All right, 2 homer picks. Mitchell Gunner.
It's going to be a close game,
Yep.
but I have to go with the Gators.
So you're going with the Gators.
It's going to be close.
You need a game, brother.
There is only one team that can make me hate this any more than I'm going to hate this. I mean, the Gators.
Give you the Gators.
That would be Miami.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
You're going to try to get us and go with South Carolina. I would think about that.
I like that this game is going to be closer than what people think. It's in South Carolina. I seen you over there. You wanted to take South Carolina.
I thought about it. I really did.
I don't know how much y'all thought about it. I'm going to
I
take
thought
South
about
Carolina. I'm going to take the Gamecocks.
Hey, when's the last? Did you watch them play last week?
Who, Carolina or Florida?
South Carolina.
Yeah, they're all right. They'll be all right in this game. Yeah, they're going to be okay. I'm telling you. I'll take South Carolina just to give y'all a chance. All right. Oh, one more.
Wait a minute now.
The Tornadoes.
I'll take them over South Carolina.
You'll take who? The Tornadoes?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
The Tornadoes against Fort White. Who do you got, Michael?
It's homecoming, and I think that they've got something to prove as we go into the playoffs. Tornadoes by a touchdown.
David?
Tornadoes.
Okay. Mitchell?
Bradford by 17.
That's a big. All right. Tornadoes. Byron?
Go Big Red.
Big or close? Closer to what people may think?
10 points to 14 points, something like that.
Like the Tornadoes by 10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say they're going to kill Fort White, but they're going to beat Fort White. At least I think they're going
I think so too. All right. Well, that's the end of that. Don't forget the Atlanta Braves trying to win the World Series tonight, up 3-2, heading back to Houston. Should be on right now, isn't it? I guess it's getting ready to get started. Yeah. Let's go to the weather, Mike, real quick, and then we're going to take it on out of here.
Well, it sounds good. Let's go ahead and kick off with the pollen count because we know that's the one bit of good news for the next 3 days. You're going to have much better conditions, especially on Friday when the pollen count is literally at 0.1. It doesn't get any lower than that. And the only reason why it's that good is because it's going to be raining so much that you're not going to have any pollen in the air, which is unfortunate for the pep rally and for the parade on Friday. Regionally, you can see where this is coming from. As we go to the regional map, you can see the cloud cover literally building. Nashville stretching all the way across Charlotte. The rains are going to continue to drop in, and behind it, colder temperatures. Look at tomorrow's high, 49 degrees in Nashville compared to 81 in Orlando. That is what is headed this way. That frontal boundary is going to stall out, giving us a really potent nor'easter that's going to start developing about midday on Thursday and going through Friday. I think the game's probably going to be okay. Parade, maybe a washout, and I don't know how the twirl's going to go. It's going to be a little messy, I'm afraid. Locally, I can give you the numbers. You can see them right there on the screen. 80 degrees starting off your tomorrow, but it's going to be 60s by Friday, lows in the 50s, and it's going to be one of those really raw, wintry feeling days because of the wind blowing in.
Michael, can you tell me what it's going to be like Saturday?
Saturday's going to be nice now because we are still going to have a little bit of wind, but the clouds are going to start to break up. Now, it's going to be cloudy in the morning, clearing as we go through the afternoon. Sunny's looking great, actually. So Saturday's going to be a decent day. I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get a little bit of sunrise, cloud cover, and that sort of thing. But by we get towards the second half of the weekend, it should be pretty decent.
And the reason I'm asking that is because this weekend is the first weekend of general gun season
Right.
for all the hunters out there.
Yes.
Hey, Dave, can you turn it back to the regional real quick? To the regional. I wanted to ask Mike something.
Sure.
Hang on a minute, as soon as he pulls it up.
Okay.
Why is there such a big temperature difference between Atlanta and Orlando right there? It's almost 20 degrees, and it's not that far off.
It's not that far off, but we're catching this. This is going to be for tomorrow's forecast. As we move into the area, that frontal boundary is going to drift in, and basically you're kind of seeing it where it is right.
What
Now.
in the heck is going? What
Nice.
are you guys doing? Are you at the summit again?
Huh, Sleepy Joe.
Y'all are at the summit
I was
again.
channeling my inner Joe Biden. I'm sorry.
Oh boy! All right, all right.
You know what they say? Can't beat them, join them.
Yeah, I guess you did join them. On behalf of Byron Bagwell, Mr. Michael Heater, Mr. Dave Holland, Mr. Mitchell Gunner, I'm David Rodgers, your host. We'll be back with you next Tuesday. Don't forget homecoming parade. Go out there, grab some candy, enjoy the fun, and don't forget a great football game as the Tornadoes need a big win to stay in the playoff race. God bless you guys. Have a great week and a great weekend. Goodbye.
Look out for those double lattes.
No problem, Brandon.
Gentlemen.